Well, being a teenager is hard enough. Add to that the need for a kidney transplant. I'm joined by Vonnie and Autumn Stone, along with Don Benjamin from Tennessee Donor Services. Ladies, thank you all so much for being here. And Autumn, thank you.
Of course.
Autumn, you were 2 when you had your first transplant.
Yeah.
And everything seemed to go well. And then things started to change. But let me ask you this. Vonnie, when she was 2 and the doctor says your daughter needs a kidney transplant, what was your reaction? And did you just automatically go into, can I help?
Yes, of course. It was no question when they brought us into the room and explained to us the process. It was no question that I would rise to the occasion and say, pick me. And they basically told us everything we needed to know, what the process was, and they were very great about walking us through every step of the way.
So, Vonnie, as I said, so after that, your mom donates her kidney to save your life.
Yes.
You're going through years after 2 years old, and I remember it was in high school, correct?
Yes.
And you started not feeling so well? Tell me what happened.
So I don't really know how to describe it. It's kind of like when you're sick, but you don't know you're sick, but other people can tell you're sick. And then when you're no longer sick, everyone's like, oh my gosh, you look so good. And it's like, I didn't even know. I didn't even know anything was wrong really until I went to my doctor's appointment. And I was joking about needing a new one. And then he said, you need a new one. And I was like, shut up.
You're like, really?
Wait, are you serious? And then I cried because I was like, I was just joking. I didn't mean for this to actually happen. I didn't think I was actually going to need one. But then, I was doing some reading, and they said they only last up to 15 years. They can last longer, but sometimes they only last 15 years.
So you really you didn't know you were sick?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, again, like I said, so that was kind of jarring, of course, to say you need a new kidney after you'd had a kidney transplant. What do you think, quickly tell me about your mom, first of all, and when you think about your mom, you were just 2, so you didn't know what she was doing, but now when you can sit back and think on it.
Oh, when I think about it, it's like she did this big thing for me, and it's like, I always like to show my appreciation in any kind of way. Like, I'll make sure that I remember our kidneyversary is what I like to call it. I'll get her a gift, I'll have her spend the day with me, and not even just on the kidneyversary. Throughout the year, I'll give her stuff to show my appreciation, whether it's on a special occasion or not. Like, sometimes I'll just buy her a Snickers bar. Or
that's always good.
Yeah, or I'll make her a card or something, Yeah. So.
No, that's great. And I know she appreciates that.
Yeah.
Don, let me ask you, so when you look at this, and you think about this, so people, do need more than one transplant oftentimes.
I think the important thing, the special thing about Autumn's story is that she received a kidney both from a living donor and from a deceased donor. And it just shows really that it's important for all of us to consider if we are able and healthy to be a living donor. And then also, all of us can consider to be a donor after we pass away by registering our decision. Kidneys make up the largest part of the national waiting list out of all the organs. So there is a critical need. If you're put on the kidney transplant list today, you can expect to wait 3 to 5 years before a match would be found for you.
Wow, and that, when you think about that, and in a lot of cases, that's when people have to go on dialysis and so forth. So again, like you said, do you have any contact, or do you know the family of who the donor was at this time?
No, they don't usually leave contact information.
Okay.
They like to keep it private.
Okay.
But there is a way where you can write to the donor services.
Okay.
And they can pass the letter on to the family.
Okay. And what would you say to that donor's family as we wrap up?
I would like to say thank you, and that I'm doing everything that I can to keep this safe, to keep your part of your family safe that is with me.
Okay. And again, so we're going to give them your website, Dawn, so that they can, go there, get more information. It's on the screen right now. Again, like you said, make sure it's easy. Make sure you put that on your driver's license. I think that's the thing that a lot of people forget to do.
It is, and that website, you can go directly to the register. Probably 90% of the people who sign up to be a donor or more will be doing that at the DMV, but you do not have to wait. You can go on this website and sign up to be a donor.
Sign up there. It is right there.